John Jones versus Stipe Miocic has been announced for UFC 309. I did a video sort of giving early predictions of the fights on there, but I wanted to leave this one for its own particular video. I'm not happy about this fight. It boils my piss that this fight is happening. Stipe Miocic is an old man. You know, when Stipe Miocic was born, cavemen hadn't even discovered fire yet. They didn't even know how to make fire. We weren't even in the Stone Age at that point. Steve Miocic is an old man. You know, he can barely even walk. He uses a cane to walk around. He hasn't fought in over 3 years. It'll be nearly 4 when they fight. About 3.5. Which is about 3.5 now. So it'll be like 3 3/4 years. It's a disgrace that this fight is allowed to happen. That John Jones is getting this fight, this fucking layup of a fight, just this pretty little fight for his last fight, so we can ride off into the sunset. I hate it. The UFC should be ashamed of themselves for letting this happen. We know who John Jones should be fighting. This man right here, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. This man is not the undisputed champion. This man is. I'm just saying. This is his interim champion, but we know he's the undisputed, but we'll call him the interim champion. John Jones is refusing to fight him, and we know why. He is scared shitless of Tom Aspinall because he knows what Tom Aspinall will do to him. Tom Aspinall will do to him what he does to every other one of his opponents. He will finish him in the first round however he wants to. It's as simple as that. John Jones has never fought someone like Tom Aspinall, never once. Who has John Jones fought with the finishing potential like Tom Aspinall? Who has John Jones fought that has an average fight time of 2 minutes? Who has John Jones fought that is as fast as Tom Aspinall, that is as dangerous as Tom Aspinall, that is as big as Tom Aspinall, that is as well-rounded as Tom Aspinall? No one. Literally no one. John Jones has never fought someone like Tom Aspinall, and he knows that, and he knows he loses this fight. He knows he loses this fight, so he's not taking it. We're going to go over some things here. This is just a quick one. I know I made a video similar to this a couple of weeks ago. I'm doing another one because I'm sick of it. I hate that this is happening. The UFC should be ashamed of themselves that they're letting him get away with this. GSP, when he announced his retirement, they gave him the toughest fight possible in Johnny Hendricks, a juiced up Johnny Hendricks. GSP even wanted drug testing for that fight because he knew Johnny Hendricks was on steroids. And I know people are like, oh, GSP's on steroids. He was never proven to be. He also helped implement USADA, but everyone's like, oh yeah, he left when USADA came out. When USADA was a thing, yeah, he retired before that, but whatever. And then helped implement it, but yeah, cool. Because that makes sense, but that happened. They gave him Johnny Hendricks, and then when GSP retired, Dana White shit all over him. What's the difference between John Jones? Why isn't he getting the tough matchup in Tom Aspinall? Why does he get a nice layup with Stipe Miocic? Why? We know why. It's because they want their own Michael Jordan, even if he is made in a lab, even if he is a PED cheat, even if he does bash his miso, even if he is a terrible human and gay. It's bullshit. Then the fight to make was the Tom Aspinall fight, but John Jones didn't want it, so John Jones didn't get it because apparently John Jones calls the fucking shots now. It is bullshit. I'm so sick of it. And we're going to go over some things, and we'll get into them now. What's this one here? Here it is. This is going to be the last time, more than likely. He's so scared of Tom Aspinall that he's just going to retire so he doesn't have to fight him. He is that scared of him. Tom Aspinall didn't even have to fight him to make him retire. Fuck, he's a bitch, man, I'm telling you. So he said this. We're going to go over some more. Here's this here. Fun fact, John wasn't playing. He thought it was his wife. Probably did, honestly. Fun fact, after this year, John Jones will never have to work again. Retired at age 37, winning. He's that scared of Tom Aspinall that he's just going to retire. He is that scared of him. He does not want that Tom Aspinall smoke, that he doesn't even want to be in the sport at all if it means there's a potential to fight him. He's just going to leave. We got this one here. We'll click onto this. He says it again. He's going to beat up this old man and ride off into the sunset. Hope you enjoy watching, Will. I know Will is probably the guy who's messaging, I assume. And mate, probably charge your phone, eh? This is a while ago. But he says this. He's admitting that Stipe's an old man. He's admitting it, that this is an easy fight for him. Right there, he's admitting it. Because we know the tough matchup is this man right here. This is a matchup that he loses. And there's no way. This is like the Alex Pereira Khalil Roundtree fight. There's just no way John Jones can win this fight. There's literally no way for him to win. He loses in every scenario. Because if you act like it goes to the ground, he gets subbed. Fucking Tom Aspinall could pick him up and slam him if he felt like it. He's a real heavyweight. John Jones is not a real heavyweight. He's a skinny little frail man at light heavyweight. Still a big guy, but not a heavyweight. He's skinny and frail. Plus he's a drug cheat and a woman basher. Haven't said that enough. So we've looked at these. We're going to go to this right here. Shout out to Cosmic Game Mail. We used this in my last video. Obviously he didn't make the meme because he steals them. 288 days, interim champion, 1 defence. 540 days, 0 defences. That's about half the time. Tom Aspinall's been champion about half the time John Jones has been champion. And he already has a defence and John Jones is 0. Might I add, a relevant defence over a fucking actual heavyweight. An actual heavyweight contender. Not this old man. An actual heavyweight contender, a dangerous contender, not a 42-year-old man that hasn't fought since 2021. An actual heavyweight. Before that, Sergey Pavlovich, Marston Tabora, both very relevant wins at heavyweight. Sergey Pavlovich at that point was a monster, terrifying human. I was actually not sure about that fight with Aspinall. I thought he might get it done, but Sergey, he was this terrifying human at that point, just knocking everyone out. Then we got Volkov. Very relevant win. Very, very relevant win. He's in the top 5 now, I'm pretty sure. So, gets rid of him within a round, might I add. Tabora within a round. Sergey Pavlovich within a round. Blades within a round. That fight literally lasted 1 minute. This fight, 1 minute and 9 seconds. 1 minute 13. This one, 3 minutes and 45. That's a bit longer. Sergey Spivak, another relevant win. At heavyweight, he's in the top 10. 2 minutes, 30 seconds in the first round. John Jones is scared shitless of his man because he knows that he's just going to do the exact same thing to him. Tom Aspinall will destroy John Jones, and he knows that. So guess what? He's retiring. Said it multiple times. He's going to retire. Tom Aspinall has more defences than him. And it's over a relevant contender, someone in the top 5, someone that is an active heavyweight, not an old man, not this 42-year-old man. This was the last time Steve Hay fought, 2021, 28th of March, sorry. Alex Pereira made his UFC debut at UFC 268. Steve Hay's last fight, UFC 260. Alex Pereira is now a UFC double champion with 2 title defences. He went from UFC debut to 2-division world champion in the time that Stipe hasn't fought. A lot has changed in the UFC landscape since Stipe has fought. Stipe hasn't fought in 3.5 years. It'll be 3 3/4 by the time they fight. He's an old man. He's not ready to fight. We've seen him walking around with a cane. You know, he's not ready to fight. He's not fit to fight. We've seen him hit pads. He's sloppy. He's slow. That's not the same Stipe fucking 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's not. This is the guy. And John Jones is terrified of him, so he's just going to retire after he fights Stipe. He's terrified of him. And for good fucking reason. Look at what he's done to everyone at heavyweight. Within a round, all of these ranked contenders, within a round. Sergey Pavlovich, the most dangerous man at heavyweight at that point. Ignore the last Volkov fight. This Sergey Pavlovich, the most dangerous man we've seen at heavyweight in a long time, knocks him out in a round. Curtis Blades, a very good wrestler, very high level fighter, within a round. Marcin Tybura, very high level wrestler, very good fighter, in the top 10 in the first round. Volkov, another high level striker, very good fighter, very relevant fighter, a relevant fighter at heavyweight, not an old fucking man that hasn't fought in nearly 4 years. Dispatches him within a round. Sergey Spivak, same, within a round. Who the fuck has John Jones done that to? Who? That level of fighter, who has he done that to? Parker Porter, I guess, on the regionals. He's done that to him, I guess. But who? Who in the UFC has he done that to? So how about we look at his record? Shogun Rua, to start his title reign, round 3 TKO. You know who did that to Shogun? Forrest Griffin. Subbed him in the 3rd round. John Jones KO'd him in the 3rd round. Also, Shogun, middleweight sized fighter, fought in pride, past his prime. Rampage Jackson, middleweight sized fighter. Rampage Jackson is 5'10". I'm 5'10". Subs him in the 4th round. He can't even finish his guys off early. Lyoto Machida, a middleweight. Guillotine in the 2nd. How did it take him 2 rounds to finish a guy half his size? I don't know. How's it taking him 4 rounds to finish a guy half his size? Another guy 3 rounds to finish him half his size. He got rid of Chael Sonnen quickly. Might add, he ducked Chael Sonnen though. He ducked Chael Sonnen before then. Would not take a short notice fight with him. Was scared shitless of Chael Sonnen as well. Gustafsson lost that fight. Glover Teixeira decision. Just saying, like, that wasn't the Glover we saw near the end of his career as well. Daniel Cormier decision. Over St. Preux decision. OSP by decision, he reckons. Daniel Cormier, no contest. Tested positive for Turinabol. Gustafsson tested positive for Turinabol. Might add, around this time, not sure when, he popped for Clomid. Anthony Smith by decision. You know who beat Anthony Smith by decision? Fucking Roman Dolidze. One of the shittest fighters ranked at middleweight. Thiago Santos, middleweight size fighter, fought at middleweight. Anthony Smith as well should have fought at middleweight. Should be fighting middleweight. Anthony Smith shouldn't be fighting, actually. He's shit. And he still managed to go to a decision with him. Thiago Santos, middleweight size fighter. I thought Thiago Santos won that fight. Dominic Reyes lost that fight, got his ass handed to him, got gifted a decision. Dominic Reyes beat the shit out of John Jones. Big 6'4" guy. John Jones' size. Beat the shit out of him. I thought won 4 rounds to 1. Very clearly beat the shit out of him. Then what? Cyril Gane in a round by guillotine. What? Francis Ngannou out-wrestled Cyril Gane. So what does that say? You know what I mean? And Cyril Gane ducks every single contender known to man. So, you know, Tom Aspinall, duck Tom Aspinall. Easily. What would Tom Aspinall do to fucking Cyril Gane? He would murder him. He would murder him. Also, Cyril Gane ducking Curtis Blades. You know what fucking Tom Aspinall did to Curtis Blades? We fucking saw what he did to Curtis Blades. Duck Sergey Pavlovich. We saw what Tom Aspinall did to Sergey Pavlovich. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. That is John Jones' legacy. Fat fucking middleweights. Fat middleweights. And struggling with them. Fucking struggling with them, man. Went to a decision with fucking Stephan Bonner earlier in his career. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, He's struggling with these guys. He can't. He's taking him half of the fight to finish him. 4 rounds to finish him. Taking him 2 rounds to finish him. Went to a decision with Rashad Evans. Rashad Evans fucking fought at middleweight. He would have fought at middleweight his whole career today. These days in the sport. Belfort was a middleweight. Belfort was a middleweight. I know he was sauced up, but, you know. He nearly lost to fucking Belfort. Belfort put him in an armbar and nearly broke his fucking arm. Took him 4 rounds to finish Belfort. Just a positive against DC. Decisioning OSP. Won the custom because he was on steroids. Decisioning Anthony Smith. Roman Dolidze did that. Lost to Santos, in my opinion. Lost to Reyes, that's not my opinion. He did lose to Reyes. And it's still gone. I'm sick of it. And trust me, when it's fight week in November, John Jones fight week, there'll be a lot more than this. It'll be a lot longer a video. I'm going to expose every single thing John Jones has ever done. I'm sick of this shit. I'm not letting him ride off into the sunset. I know I don't get many views, but I'm still going to expose him. I can't stand this man. He's a terrible human being. Beating on women, the fucking pussy. Fucking beating on women in front of your daughters, you fucking piece of shit. In front of your kids, in front of your daughters. What's that fucking telling them, cunt, when you're bashing on your fucking wife? Beating the shit out of their mum. What's that going to tell them? How's that going to make them feel? You're telling them that's how they should be treated doing that shit. That's what they're going to fucking think. They had to call the fucking cops on you because you're beating the shit out of her. Hit and run on pregnant women. Hit and fucking run on pregnant women. Only coming back to get your cocaine and running off. A fucking pregnant woman. You piece of shit. Multiple failed drug tests. Multiple. Beaten up on a stripper as well. Cool story, bro. You're fucking heaps cool, aren't you? You're fucking... Oh, I hate this man so much. If I was a heavyweight sized man, I would be training and trying to beat the shit out of this guy, but I'm like 81 kilos and fucking, I'd probably fight a featherweight if I was a fighter, so. But anyway, fuck this guy. Tom Aspinall would fucking murder him in the first round, would do disgusting things to him. And that's it. I'm sick of this fight. I don't want to see this fight. I've listed off why I don't want to see this fight. This man is fucking 42. He last fought at fucking UFC 260. Alex Pereira made his UFC debut at 268 and is now a 2-division champion. Might I add Rumble Johnson? I know he wasn't in the UFC, but he has a more recent win than fucking Stipe Miocic, and he's fucking dead. So, there you go. Rest in peace, Rumble, though. You were a very good fighter. Rest in peace, man. Rest easy, brother. That's my video. Fuck John Jones. There will be more in November on Fight Week. Trust me. See you later.